Yep, y'all know what time it is tonight. It's Pansy time. I'm kidding. No. Guys. How's it going? Ragzad first. Let's go. You win the cheese, sir. How's it going? Man, it feels good to be live right now. As long as my energy lasts. It's not gonna last too long, but we'll do what we can. Shit. Oh, I wish I could like stream like during the days when I'm like actually full energy, man. Like it would be a game changer, honestly. But hey, everyone who's watching the stream, you know, in a VOD on YouTube, who's actually live right now, like Rag over here. Yo, welcome. So here's the plan today. So today I do have some content planned for you guys. I actually recorded the video in a serious manner, or more focused manner, I should say, right before I went live. So it will be coming up on YouTube later. But today on stream, I'd like it to be more of an interactive thing. Hopefully I can, you know, bounce things off chat and stuff. But I've played a mobile MMORPG for 30 days, and yeah, I'm going to talk about my experiences playing that. It was a wild one, honestly. I was not expecting it, like seriously. A Hydro Flask? I'm just lazy, man. So actually, here's what happened with my water situation. I used to have like water delivered, you know, the good stuff, the Ozarka and stuff. And, you know, I have a dispenser, it cools it, heats it and all that. So I stopped that thing. So that subscription. We're getting the reverse osmosis thing and water filter installed. I've just been dragging my feet on that, so that's why we're stuck with plastic bottles at the moment. It could be worse. It could be like filtered water with like actual chemicals and shit. Yo, let's actually do this. Let's actually see what's in this one. So this is Ozarka, my go-to water. Let's see this. Let's scan this with Yuka. So Ozarka ranks 100 out of 100. It's literally just water. I don't think you can see this on my camera, but it's 100 out of 100. But there is like freaking filtered water, man, like which has chemicals in it. Let me try to find one. Do you know what a name of one? I can't remember. I guess in Costco, you get like Kirkland, right? Okay, let's do Kirkland. So Costco, common place to get stuff. And then you go and buy Kirkland purified water, okay? It's 65 out of 100 rating on Yuka. And that's because there are 4 additives. Sodium bicarbonate, calcium citrates, potassium hydrogen carbonate, and magnesium oxide. While this one is just water. No added shit. It's just water. Purified water has these 4 additives. Like, dude, like, what the fuck? It's like, let's read the reasoning for it. One is a texturizing agent. Sodium bicarbonate, texturizing agent. Calcium citrates, antioxidant. Potassium hydrogen carbonate, anti-caking agent. Magnesium oxide, anti-caking agent. Bro. Never buy purified water. Stick with the good shit, you know? This is spring water, I guess. You know? Yeah, Texas spring water. Ozarka. Let's go. Well, plastic is definitely a no-no, but I'm getting the reverse osmosis thing sorted out at home, and getting a water filter built in so I can just fill my own shit. But why would water ever... I don't know. Maybe it's the other chemicals that's caking and they're preventing that from caking. Oh man, I know. Plastic is a no-no, but right now it just is what it is. Soon, I do have like bottles I try to fill up when I get a chance, but yeah, we'll get that sorted out soon. Just another week or 2. But how's it going, chat? Man, I didn't get to play at all. I did one fishing run on BDO. That's about it. I didn't touch the game. My Mystic is still like out there at Dokubi Forest. Oh, I'm actually gonna restart BDO. It's like slow as heck right now. But shit, what's going on? We got a patch tomorrow or something? They did postpone all that stuff, so what are they going to release for tomorrow's patch? I did see the rewards we're getting from console, that console event thing. They're doing lots of events after maintenance. Damn right they are. Hot time is coming back. Damn right it is. You take away a big update like that? That's right, fuckers. You better give us free shit. Insanity, how's it going? Welcome. Oh man, let's see how long my son will sleep tonight. So yeah, guys, we're going to be talking about my experience playing a mobile, pay-to-win, autoplay MMORPG for 30 days. So it was a hell of a ride. You know, I didn't expect a lot of things that happened. I just thought it would be, you know, boring, autoplay, the whales are going to kick my ass and stuff. But it was a lot, there was a lot more to it. And I'm finally glad I can say goodbye to the game and just chill. I might actually just, you know, still mess around on the side, just jump people and stuff. But for the most part, I'm really looking forward to what's next. We did try out Etherspire recently. That's one thing I've been meaning to cover. I think that game is actually legit. No pay to win and stuff. And well made, actually smooth. But doing it on PC, it wasn't running as smooth on PC. It runs flawlessly on my phone. But did you play it as a sponsorship? No. So Etherspire is just a game that I saw that was a non-pay-to-win one, because I did get a sponsorship like over 6 weeks ago for Moo Immortal. The follow-up video I'm doing is nothing related to any sponsorships. It was just me, because when I was in the game, I saw a lot of people playing it, and I just couldn't wrap my head around why. I'm like, okay, they'll probably quit after like 3 days, 4 days. You get fun, you play it for a few days, and then you get bored of it. Mobile game, right? But they've been playing it for weeks on end. I'm like, okay, let's dig into this. Because even when I made that Ragnarok 3 video, there are people in chat saying, hey, I wish there's autoplay. I'm like, why would you want autoplay? Wouldn't that just inflate the market? Wouldn't that just mean we have to grind 24/7 with our computers running? Wouldn't that just mean we have to have multiple alts also grinding 24/7 and funneling resources to our main? So, you know, there's a lot more to it. There's different perspectives I wanted to understand and experience. So that was kind of what I was trying to get to the bottom of. Because me as a content creator, I love BDO. It's my home. But I want to be, you know, overall covering MMORPGs. Because I play a lot of different games. You know, every year I probably play a dozen games, you know? So it's something that I felt like before I start talking about it, before I just start straight up shitting on something, I got to go experience it for myself. So that's kind of why. Just wanted to ask you, what game made you excited recently? Either one you played or one you saw a trailer. I'm definitely excited for Ragnarok 3 because it maintains the OG aesthetic of it, and it does look really fun. Skyforge shutting down. I played it when it came out. I didn't know it was still running, honestly. Oh my god. See, it's one thing to maintain a game running, but you had to market it and let people know you're still around. How would Pansy know? It was a game that was ahead of its time, honestly. I remember it when it came out like over a decade ago. Darethus, I would love to play WoW, man, but I can't raid. Raiding was like what I enjoyed, so then I'd have to play it for purely PvP. When is it starting? Did it already start? Am I already behind? Savage. Ah, how's it going, dude? If you like the older games, you should check out Hellbreath. What's Hellbreath? I haven't heard of that. PvP is fun to watch. Yeah, we in week 1 and raid season actually starts next week. What about PvP gear? Am I behind on that? Because if I play, I'm only doing PvP. I can't even sit out and grind like Mythic Plus properly because my son could cry at any moment and I have to go running. Hasn't started? Ooh. Which server are you on? I don't even know which server I'm on. Zoljin, I think? I don't remember. Oh man, we're cooked. Are there any good cosmetics out? You're on Illidan? Ooh, that's a badass server. I don't think I'm quite Illidan material. Older Korean MMO. PvP is hella fun. I don't know how to explain it. Yo, actually, let me actually Google this. I never heard of this one. Hellbreath. Let's see. Hell breath. Yo, this is like actual OG kind of shit. What the heck? What, did this come out in like 1999 or something? Holy cow. That actually looks gorgeous. And people are going to be like, why the hell would you say that? But there's something about these OG games, man. I just love it. Look at that. God damn. Let's see. Whoa, too loud. I just want to see how the game itself looks inside. Dude, that looks so cute. You guys don't understand. This just looks like so cute. Pictures don't do it justice. I think it looks cute, man. I like it. I'll remember this one. I'll add it to the list. So you guys know what my ultimate goal is, right? Because I can't perpetually grind video. You guys know I can't. I can, however, perpetually fish. And that is what I intend to do forever. So what I like to do is, like, you know, while we're like, you know, grinding out on BDO, like maybe like 2 or 3 streams a week, we can sit down, do like a couple hours of grinding, have my AFK fishing going on, do the weekly shit when Adonia comes out. I'd like to spend like another 2 to 3 days, you know, doing variety stuff where I'm like, every 2 weeks, I'll go to a new MMORPG, make a few videos, you know. I want to build a nomad guild. So like a nomadic guild where we can all go to different MMORPGs and enjoy it. If you want to hop on, you can. If not, you can catch the next train, no problem. But yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. Like, cause like I just love experiencing things like this. Like, look at this. How adorable is this, man? Look at him. He's pulling the mobs. That was just so cute. The way he did. Oh, sorry, it's not showing you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Homies running around and pulling mobs here. Look at that. Look how adorable this looks. Oh, that is great. So is this like a global server or something? That's so cute. Oh my god. We have so many OG games we have to play. Like Lineage 2 is one I never actually played. I'd love to go back to like Guild Wars 1, you know, EverQuest. Oh, we got so many OG shit to even try. And also a bunch of new ones, more recent ones, you know, in the past 5 years. So I definitely want to be rolling around like just every couple of weeks, pick a new one. You know, we still keep our constant progress going on BDO, on Runescape. But then, you know, also experience all these other games out there. That some shit like this I never even heard about. Haven't played it in years. Apparently the main servers are still huge. God damn, dude. That's wild. It's crazy to even think that people are still playing games like this. Like, how amazing is that? Looking through the different maps and stuff. First game I ever got scammed on, gave some dude my account to level it when I was 9. Oh no. That was me on RuneScape. Oh, for real. Oh shit, we were logging into BDO, I totally forgot. Oh, RuneScape was a wild ride when I was a kid. So immersed in that game. That game got me in so much trouble with my parents though. They could not believe that I was playing a video game on a computer. Computer, the sacred device, shouldn't be used for such sacrilegious things like playing video games. That game got me into so much shit. I'll tell you guys about it someday. But man. What the hell ever happened to BDO Mobile? Do people still play that? I was looking at videos like probably a month or two ago. I'm like, it's crazy. It's crazy that they decided to go do that, make all that money, and you know, they still haven't made a PC, like a PC cross mobile client thing going on. Like, you've got the technology there clearly. Give the PC folks a, you know, a mobile client. You already gave us the central marketplace on the phone. Thank you for that. That was very useful. Now let's do the full game. I'd like to be able to turn in my fish twice a day, man. I wouldn't even need to get to my computer. That would be huge. Ah, one can only dream. PvP's hella fun. Different builds for different weapons and such. Wow. You know, these old games have like such depth to it. Sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming. But dude, I would love to like finish the Jatnir Wilds main quest line on Guild Wars 2 so I can play the Spear Berserker. Berserker has been my main since it came out, but those quests take a long time, man. I loved Realm vs. Realm. So I used to be on a server called, I'm still on the server. I'm on Fort Aspenwood. So back in 2014. So I think it was 2014 or 2015, around that period. So basically, Fort Aspenwood was like a tier 3 server, but the guilds on the server banded together. We started working together and coordinating with each other, and we grinded our way up to tier 1. And we, you know, fought against Jade Quarry and Blackgate, you know, sometimes Yak's Bend. And that period in Guild Wars 2 was probably the most fun I had. Like, it was crazy. We would all work together in a manner to recruit players, recruit guilds from other servers to come to our server. And we'd also like coordinate, you know what? These are our commanders. These are the shifts we're going to take. These are the timings when we'll be most active. And it's like, that was the one game we would actually go out and search for Australian guilds. Because there was a time period, you know, a certain period at night where we just couldn't cover. And we needed more Australian guilds. And it's like, there's this other server that was kicking our ass at one point because they had better Aussie guilds. Because at night, they would just rule the shit. It was such a fun period. Like, when we got to like tier 1 and we logged in for World vs. World, the first thing that happened, we went out there in the map where it has the 3 forts and then the big castle in the middle. I forgot what it was called, but we went there and immediately we were met with Blackgate, Jade Quarry, Super Zergs right at our doorstep. That was like the welcoming party right there. Oh, it was such good times. The fact that we grinded our ass up there was like a hell of a ride, because it was just so much drama and fun that happened throughout the journey. Lo-Fi Apex, how's it going, man? Moo Online still has servers. Dude, Moo Online actually gets viewership on Twitch, like 1,000+ viewers sometimes during the day. Like, it's definitely still alive. Can you make sovereign weapons when you have Garmoth in your Black Star? Take it out. Extract it. There's life skilling on Hellbreath. Oh my god. We had the same problem in Ark. We recruited hundreds of Aussies. Oh man. Dude, what kind of life skilling is there in Hellbreath? Like, give me a little bit of a rundown there. Dude, that's crazy. Alright, we need to get my Mystic out of wherever she is. She's at Dokubi Forest right now. Cool grind spot. Not bad. I think I want to tag up the Witch and just grind chill. Or we'll just chill grind a DSR. It's whatever. I just want to talk today. We'll talk about my experience, but it'll be a bit more informal than what I was doing on the recording before I started stream. Fishing, mining, blacksmithing, alchemy, dude. Oh, you know what we could do? We could probably bust out my Runescape account. And while I yap, we could probably do some thieving or something. We'll see. Because the thing is, my son could like start crying at any moment. I'm like, oh my god. That just disrupts me. Like, I come back after like 5 minutes, but you know, streaming and then going AFK all of a sudden is never a good thing. And of course, like, I feel bad. Little dude's like crying. He hates sleeping, man. I don't know why. Other kids are sleeping like 8 hours a day. They won't even want to wake up. They're like, no, I want to keep sleeping. I'm like, my dude's like, get me out of here. I'm like, okay. There's treasure items like specific spells and weapons. Wow. You know, one thing I never did in like Final Fantasy is work on the Omega weapons or whatever those are called. That was just a bit of a grind. I just never got into it. Final Fantasy 14, I was always just there for the story, honestly. The only MMORPG I played for the story. I'm like, that's what MMORPG should be. Like, you're the main character. You're experiencing the story, not watching it. But that's like the only game that ever got me there. Guild Wars 2 like tells a really good story, but for some reason I just never like it never resonated as much as like Final Fantasy 14. And no, I haven't played Dawn Trail. I haven't bought it. I knew what was gonna happen when they're like, "Oh, we're gonna reset." I'm like, "No, you're not." Oh man. Items that drop when you die, so PvP is risky. It's town versus town type teams. Elvine and Arisden? 11 has a good story too. I never played 11. Favorite MMOs of all time. Sorry, Lo-Fi, I missed your message there. RuneScape, old school RuneScape's definitely one. But in terms of a traditional MMORPG, Aeon, vanilla Aeon was probably the best experience I had. Those first 6 months were phenomenal. I swear, that was like, I wish I recorded that shit. It was so much fun. 10 times more players on mobile than BDO. Really? It's still that active? Why hasn't been the earnings hasn't been like that successful from what I'm seeing? Like, you would think if it's 10 times more player, it'd be a lot more. I grinded like crazy for 3 months in video. I made the mistake of booting up Diablo Immortal again. Now I'm consumed. Ah, Toman, you were the one who was telling me about Diablo Immortal recently, right? Like the other week on stream. You can travel to enemy town, run around invisible, and gank people. Manga. That's the kind of shit, man. That would actually be funny. I'll definitely add it to my list. Let me actually pull that up. I got a list. Fuck yeah, I got a list. MMORPGs. Retro MMORPGs. Hellbreath. You can travel to enemy town, run around and, oh sorry, I said that. The game is so rich with events and stuff now. 140. Oh really? Okay. You know, Diablo Immortal still trying to be relevant there. Let's go. I honestly, if they didn't like go so over the top with the pay to win in the beginning, it could have actually been a mainstream game because it was in development for a long time. I knew it was going to be a polished product, but they were really over the top, man. They should have chilled. They should have just did a pulse check, see how players were reacting to it, and took it in the correct monetization direction. Like if they saw it was going to be mainstream, they should have been a bit lighter on it, make it as big as possible, make it as popular as possible, and make, you know, get value out of it in different means. But if it was going to be a niche and it was tiny, then sure, add in the monetization, whatever. They should have chilled with that. They could, because like there were a lot of big streamers playing that. Probably paid to play it, but a lot of eyes were on that game. They could have actually done something huge there. But I'm glad that they are still improving the game. I mean, like, they haven't given up on it. Oh, crazy stuff, though. Let's go to Olutikia. So yeah, we'll start yapping, I guess. I don't know, should I grind while I talk, or should I pull out RuneScape while I talk? They lean too much into monetization from the start. Oh yeah, egregious amounts. But hey, you know, that's how it goes. Maybe you can even like justify it as that they were able to earn so much money on Diablo Immortal that it funded them properly to do Diablo 4. Diablo 4 wasn't perfect, but I had a fucking hell of a time. It was so fun. I haven't played it in recent times. I'd love to go back into it. But, you know, the technology they employed there was amazing. Like the open world aspect of it. And then you just like zone into like the different servers. I was able to play with my EU friends, my NA friends, my Indian friends. It was crazy. There are whale-only guilds in Diablo Immortal, you mean, Gertis? Have you done Black Shrine bosses? No, dude. I need to. I just need to learn the mechanics and I'd love to do them. I just haven't had time. I had fun in Diablo 4. It wasn't the best, but it was fun. I had a good time. It's getting neglected left and right. Oh man. I saw some people back on it. I thought, no, maybe they're doing something there. Sad to hear. It's become tedious. Oh shoot. Yo, getting to level 100 on that first character was a bit of a grind. Not gonna lie. Oh, in Immortal? Yeah, for sure. Nostalgia purposes? I mean, I had nostalgia to Diablo 2, but it was still, you know, it was unique in its own way. I mean, I think the technology was like a big factor there. Because Diablo's Diablo, you're just grinding out mobs and stuff, but the fact that I was able to enjoy it the way I was, I think that was such a defining factor for me. Didn't like the story and the open world and the dungeon tile sets. Oh no. I come from an MMORPG background, so for me it was like, all right, I recognize this a bit more. You know, different perspectives. All right, let's do a little bit of a grind and then we'll go. So here's what I'll do. I'll do like a 20 or 30 minute grind and then we'll go into talking about the talk. No, dude, I played a mobile MMO. Is my title wrong? I thought I put mobile in it. 30 days on a mobile MMORPG. I expected to be able to just write it off and say, well, it's pay to win. People are quitting left and right. But I'm like, why are there so many people sticking to it? BDO does not play like a mobile game. Come on. It's monetized way worse than a mobile game. I saw it on Choice's stream. How does that work? Do you still have to enter stuff, or is it like auto updating based on what you see on your screen or what you're grinding? I didn't really look into it. I didn't have a chance, but I was watching a stream earlier for a bit. PT? What's PT? Pristine Tail. Okay. Pristine Tail? It's on his Discord. Haven't gotten it yet? Gotcha. Capture screenshots based on what it sees on your screen. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check it out sometime. For sure. Let's just do like a half hour, maybe even a 15-minute grind here. Nothing too crazy. I would love to just sit and go right into talking, but you guys know I can't do that. I like playing the game. I like grinding on my character, on my Mystic. I don't miss BDO sometimes. I miss specifically my characters. It's gonna be up for today, the beta anyway. Oh, okay. That's fine. I'm good. I won't have time tonight. Maybe if it's still up tomorrow, I can check it out, but definitely not tonight. All right. Do I have everything? Clearly not. My courage didn't pop. There we go. Hooah! Let's go. Grind at level, go to a higher end spot. What's a higher end spot that I can go? Dekia Ash is probably the highest end thing I can do now. I mean, I can't do Orzekia. Look at my AP. It's only 1473, 1490 something. I'm actually zoned out of Orzekia. I'm grinding it slower than before the patch. Before the combat update. I can do it. It's just slower. I'm getting less trash loot than I used to get it before. Like, some places are better, but for me, Orzekia was worse. The disparity between the AP cap got bigger for me. Kronmot? Nah, not right now. What class do you recommend? Depends on the playstyle you're going for, honestly. Like, are you looking for a melee class, range class? Are you looking to do sieges, node wars? Are you just doing PvE? Are you looking for something low APM, high APM? Really depends. You're 354 AP? How are you getting zoned out? You should have enough AP. Dude, you're taking away my hope. I'm like, I'll just, you know, gear up for a bit. I'll be back there. Oh, I heard it was Musa. Ah, that's funny. I mean, Musa's a good class, man. And I keep forgetting I need to tag a Sork and learn how to play her. I have a friend who played Sork for like literally years, and he won't teach me how to play. Damn you, Evan. I've been asking for years, teach me how to play Sork, man. He's like, nope. Screw you, Pansy, you suck. That's all he says, literally word for word. I even got witnesses. Strikers, Musa, Sage, Dosa, Hash, Archer. Nova's always been a favorite. Well, honestly, you have to understand, like, every class has its, like, pros and cons. I mean, some more pros than others, but realistically, if you can identify what it is you want out of that class, what purpose it's serving, then you can figure out what class to main a lot easier. I'm gonna buy Tet, which first? Probably the armor, because the Idania gear is supposed to look badass. The armor would probably be the go-to thing. You can make, get full... I mean, guys, remember, the true endgame in this game is fashion. Like, this is Fashion Desert online. It's not Kron Desert, it's not Black Desert, it's Fashion Desert. So, which part of the Idania gear is going to give you the best looking fashion? The armor! So, head and armor, exactly. You guys get it. Hell yeah. Good shit. That's why I got it, honestly. Can't blink while you're playing Nova, you'll get lost. Maybe suck Nova. Suck Nova, you can blink. You can't go to sleep like some other classes, but you know. Dude, I love Suck Nova. It's just too much shift work. I have a weak left pinky. That's just the truth of the matter. Can't level up as easy? Bro, just use a pocket watch or something. Level up a class to 60 on seasonal. It'll reward you a bunch of free stuff. Just use the pocket watch. Easy. You don't have to actually level it up. And once you get it to like 60, 61, you'll have all your skills, and it's pretty much like any other class. Set up a macro to hold shift? Nah. Honestly, the muscle... I don't want to cripple that muscle memory by using like the mouse button, the thumb buttons for shift or anything, so... I've tried it. It just messes with me. It's the same reason why I won't go on roller coasters upside down. The same reason I don't do go-karts. Like, actually messes with my driving. Like, after I get into a go-kart, I can't get in a car for like a couple hours. I'm like, I'm gonna feel like driving in like a go-kart. It's a genuine fear of mine, and I don't like messing with muscle memory and instinct as a whole. It's a silly reason, but it is the reason. Oh. The shift in space? Dude, it will mess with my head way too much. Striker and Sage, but they're both getting nerfed. Why the hell is Striker getting nerfed? Oh my god, are there some big global patch notes I didn't read? Oh my god, my rotation's totally scuffed. I'm trying like the new one, then the old one comes back. This is the problem with muscle memory. Don't mess with it. At least just for me. You guys can mess with it. You guys are probably better gamers than me, but I should just do like after Death Cloud, I should just go into Sweeping Kick and Wave Orb, honestly. There we go. There we go. I'm actually onto something. Hold on. Nice. Okay. PvE? Honestly, I don't know. I tried playing him. I couldn't figure out Succession. Properly. We just got buffed. Maybe it was too much of a buff in their eyes. I don't know, man. Leave Monkey Man alone, I'd say. Mouse wheel to shoot back in 1.6 days? Dude, my mouse wheel in 1.6 was... Oh, 2 Devourings back to back. That's actually nice. So, the up roll was duck and the down roll was jump. So like I needed the up scroll as the duck because we used to do something called duck walking. We would alternate with up and then pressing control to duck. It greatly reduced our footsteps, but they removed it in later versions. That's right. Pansy knows duck walking, okay? CS 1.6 was my main, dude. Local tournaments and shit. It was fun. Oh, good times. I don't know which one's better, Awakening or Succession, honestly. Like, Succession had potential. Awakening got buffed because of the clones getting better and stuff, so I would give it to Awakening. But it really depends on the grind spot there. Because, like, Succession was more of a burst. You know, low AoE burst, while Awakening was the opposite there. Catch me on CS Warehouse dumping pops. Don't feel bad about where you are. Literally history right now in 2025. Still grinding Compass. Oh my god. Sheesh. Awakening's way better for PvE. Oh, good to know. I guess that's why he's getting nerfed. Dude, I missed Striker from like 2020 and 2021. Oh my god, I messed it up again. After they changed them, like got the third Rabomb and stuff, it just wasn't the same. He used to be like very mechanical and technical. I really enjoyed that. But his identity got changed and it just wasn't the same for me after. Hate when that happens, right? I saw a tier list where Warrior S tier, but the class is so boring for me. Didn't they get like nerfed like so quickly though after they were S tier? There was like one patch where they were like really good and then suddenly got nerfed again. I don't know if they were S tier, but that lasted 3 days. Oh my god. Oh shoot, what was that backward hop for? Guys, apparently there's a bit of a delay on my YouTube stream or something compared to my Twitch stream. Russ told me about it recently, so now I'm like second guessing what I'm even talking about. Tier list has to be false. Every tier list, I'd say, take with a grain of salt. Because if you had to do a tier list, you'd have to break it down depending on grind spots. Unless you like generalize stuff. And then when you generalize stuff, things will be incorrect in certain situations. So take every tier list, even if I make it, with a grain of salt there. There are like caveats to everything. Those are useful for like a new player to like maybe get some sense of direction at most. Best thing to do is to like compare your best players of your class to like other classes. Like check VODs, check class discords, and see who's actually like pulling up. Aww. I thought I was gonna get it. I don't know why. Didn't get it. What's the low APM class that is in which wizard? Awakening Dosa and Awakening Guardian. And Shy. Shy is a very, very easy class to grind on. Like the DPS rotation is immensely chill. Hansama, how's it going, bro? Awaken Striker as well. Awaken Striker as well. Hold F, am I right? Do the leg drop thing. The class I love to play most is Striker. Gonna make a new one? Yo, go for it. Alright, just a little bit longer, guys, and then we'll get started on my yap. I did record the video before this, so a more focused video will come up on YouTube, but today we're just gonna chill and go through what I was talking about in general and just yap about stuff. Mobile MMORPGs, man. Honestly, they're the reason that we aren't getting that many quality PC MMORPGs. Seriously. But, that's all a separate topic, you know? Is what it is. Oh, Striker seems fine. The real problem is Hash? No one seems to be talking about it? Which one? Suck or Awakening? Oh man, my Hash is my Garmoth lock character. Shit. I can't even play him if I wanted to. Oh well. Oh shoot. When did I use Waywar? PC does see mobile MMO success and copy it for PCs. Yeah, I mean, there's multiple things, right? Like, talent is going... Like, talented developers aren't showing up in PC MMORPGs. It's immensely difficult to find, you know, new talent for developing MMORPGs. Like, they're all people with, like, different genre experiences. You know, they're more like... People are more likely to go into the mobile space than they are in PC nowadays. You know, that's one thing. The profits and stuff, you know, the amount of money you earn making a mobile game is immensely more than a PC game for a fraction of the effort. And then, of course, the influence it has on PC games is also another big factor, right? A lot of people complain, oh, that game looks like a mobile game, even though it's a PC MMORPG. You know, monetization things will bleed over as well, which they do. But it's what it is, man. It was a fun experience, though. Oh, stop it, stop it, stop it. Okay. Just in the nick of time, stop my Harmony draft. Dude, that was so close. All right. Let's hop over to my Fisher. Gacha games. Bro, who started the whole gacha thing? Maple fucking Story. PC game. The Trader. The Patient Zero. They are the ones that brought the scourge upon our poor souls. Let's start the fishing out. Let's pull out my RuneScape character and we'll chill. Surprise mechanics, not gambling. I mean, things like loot boxes and everything originated from somewhere, right? AFK train, but the fishing event can't do it. Which fishing event? What fishing event's going on? Dragon Collection? Konami? For MMORPGs? I thought MapleStory first brought it to the MMO space. I don't mean in general. Like, actual gacha came from the gachapons. Like, IRL, you put in a coin, you turn the knob, and get a random toy. I mean like in the MMORPG space. Seals for Adonia? Ooh. Who the fuck killed my character? Actually, he ran out of... I'm like, who killed my character? I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Nobody killed it, okay? Nobody killed it. I was just being bad. Yo, what is up with this? Fix yourself. Thank you. We'll get our Runescape buddy here. And we'll get this guy over here. Subject of today's shenanigans. We check my mail. Sold something. Failed a pre-order. Of course I did. What else is new? Send him back to his grind spot and buy some potions. Oh, we'll talk about all this shit here. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna break it to the boys that I'm gonna be going. The homies, my guild. RuneScape? It looks gold, not old. I think you missed a G over there, sir. Yeah. Fix it. Okay. You know what? Let's go to resizable mode. Okay. What game is this? I'm actually downloading it, the mobile game. With a hotbar is good enough for me. No, bro, don't download it. I'm not trying to convince anyone to play this. Come on, man. Just hear. After my talk is done, you can do whatever you want, okay? I'll show you all the shit about it. It's not a bad game for what it is. Alright, let's cut the music here. The damage numbers better put the toes away. Oh my god. Alright, guys. So let's get to it. So I wanted to yap about oh, hold on. One sec. I wanted to yap about mobile MMORPGs. So I spent 30 days playing a mobile MMORPG that you saw on screen. It's Moo Immortal. We did a sponsored video like 6 weeks ago. And since I already had it downloaded and started, I'm like, we can use this as the guinea pig. So this video is not to shit on a specific game, but rather analyze why people even play mobile MMORPGs, because obviously they're going to be pay to win. They're going to be autoplay. They're, you know, those are significantly negative factors for an MMORPG player, especially an MMORPG player, right? Of all mobile monetizations, who gets it the worst? I'm like, we have to raise our hands, right? MMORPG players are milked. We are abused in this regards, and mobile games are a big factor, dudes. Like, listen, mobile games, my god, I think they are... Actually, we don't need the react screen. Mobile games are probably the one thing that I would say has been the biggest declining factor to PC MMORPGs. Like, as I mentioned earlier, you know, people, game companies, right? They see a mobile game that's a lot more profitable and takes a fraction of the time and investment to make, Obviously, from a business standpoint, they're going to be like, oh, let's do that instead. Why the hell are we doing a PC game? Interestingly enough, like recently I read an article about NCSoft where they're actually pivoting their focus back from mobile games to PC. And that was one of the reason why they dropped Aeon 2 from being a mobile game to being a proper PC game. Do you know RO3 is basically just ROO2? What is ROO? Ragnarok Online Origin or something? I'm not sure. Isn't it just predatory turning players into payers? I mean, that's what like mobile games like. So here's the spiel of this, right? So let me start from the beginning. So yeah, I played this game on the top right, Moo Immortal, for over 30 days now, and yeah, it has aggressive pay to win mechanics, autoplay, and open world PvP with zero penalty. You can go on an onslaught, kill as many players as you want, zero punishment, right? So you would think by those reasons alone, people would be like, nah, bro, I'm not playing this. It's common sense to think that, isn't it? Like, people would see that kind of monetization. They're going to be like, no, dude, no thanks. That's too much for me. But that's not exactly what happens here. People actually, are playing it and playing it consistently, playing it every day, even if they're not spending a lot of money, which was a shocker to me. I thought, after a week it'll decline. But what actually happened was, so this game is not one with like one perpetual server. They have like 150. I don't know what every day they've been releasing a new server. So weird, I know, but there is a method to their madness. So once you get to level 300, you get into the cross realm server. So you share a server with like 4 or 5 other servers. So you share a specific maps with 4 or 5 other servers. So there is like this tier mentality to how they are doing this game. So there's a cross realm server, and then in the future they'll merge these 5 servers together, and then you'll be in another set with another 5 servers, something like that. So there is a method to their madness and reasoning, but it made the maps are pretty small, so they can't really support like 1,000 players on a single server. So it's like maybe 200 players. So it was such a weird experience, and I just had to like get to the bottom of it. Like, is it such a good game that players are still playing it for? Is it addicting? Or is there some other reason, right? There has to be a reason why someone would play this consistently, like every day. It was a grind. I was behind on like the learning curve. I played Moo online when I was a kid. I don't remember shit. But yeah. It's a mobile game that was made by Gravity, Joymaker, Ragnarok Online Origin. It's heavily pay to win, and they're copy pasting it all onto Ragnarok Online 3. Maybe. I expect it to be pay to win. I know there's going to be autoplay. My goal for Ragnarok 3 is just to enjoy it for like a month. Usually the way Ragnarok games go is like you can play free to play for the first few weeks to a month before it starts becoming, the disparity becomes noticeable. And you're going to have to kneel to the whales, at which point most people just quit. But, we'll see. We'll see, man. It's all about having fun. If we can have a fun for a few weeks, maybe a month, I'm happy. I mean, I'm good. It's not a career choice. This is a video game. It's all about having fun, making memories. That's what it's all about. We'll see what happens. But anyway, like, back to the topic here, right? So over 30 days, I was investigating what the hell is going on in this game that people are still playing it for and keep joining in and continuously, grinding it out every day, auto grinding it out every day, right? So, before we get into that, here's the reason why I wanted to do this. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, mobile games, in my opinion, were the biggest contributing factor to the decline of the quality of MMORPG development. So, more profitable, less time consuming, less investment to make a mobile game. Why the hell are they going to waste time on money on PC games? So less companies do. From a business standpoint, that's just how it is. So also another factor is I like talking about dark patterns. If you guys have been around on my stream, I've talked about it in many occasions. I made a few shorts on it too. But dark patterns are basically psychological tactics employed by the gaming industry and also other industries as a whole. But specifically for our discussion, it's the tactics employed by gaming companies and developers to extract as much money as possible from you, to get you addicted, to essentially, in the name of success, abuse you. That's what it is. Like, it is taking advantage of people's addictions, their innate nature, and putting it in a game and, just making it like so tempting. Put a little red dot here, make them go and click that and buy that upgrade. Just a little bit more, guys. You'll get stronger. You just have to spend $5. It's such a good deal, right? Only a limited time. All those things. The FOMO, the virtual arms race, balancing it out for grinding. Oh, I got to get stronger than him. Oh my God, he just tapped that pen Debo. I got to tap a pen Debo's. I don't have any crown stones. Let's swipe. That's the way people think. You see a BDO player at the end game at 800 plus gear score. A lot of times it's not someone who's, they might be like, oh, I grind like 8 hours a day. They probably also spent thousands of dollars on the game. I know multiple level or 800 gear score plus players that they've been playing and grinding out like at a high level, but also have been swiping along the way. That's just how it is, man. That's just how it is. You cron a pen Debo, you deserve failure. What the hell are you gonna do? Raw tap it? Come on. Oh. Yeah, man. I mean, like, listen, a lot of people, just because they grinded it out doesn't mean they didn't spend money, right? I know a lot of folks who spent at least 10 grand, 20 grand over the course of many years. So, dark patterns are everywhere in MMORPGs. So, that's one of the things I wanted to like explore more in depth here in a mobile game, because why would a mobile game so simplistic hold players after so long? So my approach was like this. So there are 3 distinguishing factors for a mobile game, for a mobile MMORPG specifically, right? 1, pay to win. When we think mobile game, we think pay to win, obviously, right? It's so easy to pay for something. You just double click the power button, boom, the payment goes through. It's so quick, so easy. Money's at your fingertips, power is at your fingertips, and that's one of the reasons people are falling down that slippery slope of swiping on a mobile game. And it's one of the dark patterns that is tapped into. So pay to win is one of them. Autoplay is another one. Every time I heard autoplay on a mobile game, I'm like, ew, I don't want to play that. Everyone's just going to be running around autoplaying and looking like bots. And still, I'm not a huge fan of autoplay, but I understand the reasoning behind it. We'll go more in depth about it. But the third factor is cross-platform. Now, not a negative thing, but, it does have negative connotations. Whereas if a game's developed as cross-platform, which monetization is going to win out? The one that is going to make more money. So usually it's the mobile monetization strategies which have the greater influence. By cross-platform, I don't just mean like PC to console, PC to mobile, but also like Android to iOS, right? You have emulators which you can easily play on PC. That is a positive for a lot of people. I can play this game or whatever game I want to play on my phone, and I can play it on my computer as well. For PC games, they have to be specifically developed on separate clients, whereas for mobile games, we just use emulators. They don't have to develop shit. So these are like the 3 main things I focused on when going through this grind over here with Moo Immortal. So Moo, let's talk about the history of Moo, because that falls into the pay to win category. Moo is a franchise that's been around for over 20 years. It's made by a Chinese company, I believe, Webzen, and Moo Online is still alive. The main game is still alive. It even garners viewership on Twitch. Throughout the day, you'll see it at over 1,000 viewers in that category. For a retro game in a niche category like this, that's actually really good. Like, there are people who, many tens of thousands who've played Moo in the past, and we'll see the game and be like, oh, hey, this looks like the OG version. Those are the old models and stuff. Excuse me. So all in all, it does have a pedigree, and it does come into play when why people were looking at this game to begin with. But I'm not really focused on this game in particular at first. I mean, we will talk more in depth about the differences in this game, but when it comes to the pay to win stuff, like every mobile MMORPG except for a select few have that pay to win. Every MMORPG in itself is a pay to win game. Like, give me money, I will tell you how you can gain advantage in an MMORPG. That's just how it is, whether it's against the TOS or not. And if you're not paying with money, you're paying with time, right? So, switching gears to talk about how the pay to win came into play for Moo, it is immensely pay to win. There are daily packs you can buy. There are bonuses for swiping more. There are timed tier things that every like 4 or 5 days reset that gives you, oh, you spent $200, you get all this free stuff. There is plenty of pay to win. And the pay to win affects two main things: power and levels. And both of those are extremely important in this game. And just by hearing that, you would think, hey, what's the point of even playing? People would just quit, right? Logically speaking, yes, people would ideally quit in a game like that. If this was a monetization in a PC game, it would be dead in a week. But, there are other factors that led to this game not just flopping over and it actually holding players. Negatives, extremely so. Like, trust me, do not join this game if you want to play as a free-to-play player. You're going to be bottom of the barrel. Just don't bother. Straight up. But there are things that they did to, whether purposefully or not, mitigate some of the issues there. Like, if you have a game where it's open world PvP with zero karma or penalty, and it's extremely pay to win, and the power disparity is immense, you would think that it would be chaos for anyone who's not strong, anyone who's not swiping. But they do segregate players based on levels in some manners. So yes, you can go to older maps as someone who's a higher level, but it's a waste of your time. Like, the kind of mobs there and the loot that they're dropping are for lower tiers. You don't want to waste your time grinding lower tier stuff and spending your time on lower tier maps unless you're really just a sadist and you just want to kill people. Sure. But the way they did it is that level ranges for maps are there, so you can't go to higher level maps as lower levels, and the higher level players aren't getting the loot they want in your map, so usually they're not much run-ins there. They also have specific maps which are specifically zoned for your accessory levels. You combine the accessory levels and it gives you a level, and then there's a range to each of those individual maps. You cannot go to lower end maps if you're in a specific range. You cannot go to the previous tier maps. So they did a hard segregation there, which you can only go to the zone you qualify for. And then there's also the level ranges of the bosses. Once again, that ties into the loot factor. So the way the loot works is that every day your RNG resets on the daily reset. And by what I mean by that is that, your first few bosses you kill, you'll get a few red drops. Then the next drop is going to take a little longer. Then the next drop will take a little longer. So your daily drop rate will decrease over time until it pretty much gets close to zero and you're not getting any red drops at all. And I've hit that many times. So if you do go into these lower maps as a higher level, why are you wasting your drop rate every day? So it, behind the scenes, silently discourages players from spending too much time in lower level maps. Now, with that being said, if I piss someone off and they want to just spawn cap me and not let me leave, they can do that. And despite that, people still played the game. It's weird. I mean, just thinking about it is like, it just doesn't compute for me. As someone who plays, all sorts of MMORPGs on PC, all of that is like, hell no. Like, you would just straight up quit, right? Because, you can't compete against the whales. But what you can do, you can't beat them one-on-one, but you might be able to beat them 2-on-1. You might be able to beat them 3-on-1. This is an MMORPG, right? So you're not alone. So, this game's pinnacle content is Siege. There's, Castle Siege, and then there's Cross Realm Siege. And in those sieges is where you'll see a lot of whales. But it was never to a situation where a whale would dominate my entire group. Yeah, he might kill me really easily. He might kill my buddy, but everyone else is hitting him and they'll die pretty quickly. It was never like a overwhelming factor that we lost the siege because there was whales on the other side. We got whales of our own, but our whales do not compare at all to the actual whales of the other servers. Like they're literally 100 levels behind. So there is like different tiers, or I guess you can say whales can be put on a spectrum. You know, not everyone equally spends. Some people spend more than others. Some people spend more time than others playing the game. Because even if you spend the money, you still need to spend time, you know, in order to progress. You know, some people might have more knowledge in the game than others. Some people are more skilled than others. So there's a lot of different factors to it. And with that being said, I get a lot of fights where it's against other free-to-play players. It's silly, and it's like a few skirmishes here and there. We're not really fighting for anything. We don't really get anything for killing each other. But it's fun. Like, throwing down, talking shit on a silly mobile game, it's hilarious. You know, there are some insanely funny arguments we have because there's an auto-translate feature in this game, and he's talking in, like, you know, Portuguese. I'm talking in English. We're just talking shit to each other, just auto-translating. You can have full-on conversations with people in different languages, and that's one small but defining feature that I wish was there in other MMORPGs. Like, imagine BDO had it, imagine RuneScape had it. Like, I think auto-translate should be easy enough to add on to MMORPGs on PC nowadays. So, you know, for everything that we've seen in this mobile game, I actually found a feature that I would want on PC. Because that actually bridged the gap between, you know, the South American players and us. And we have guildies who are South Americans. We don't know a lick of, you know, Spanish or any other language, right? But that auto-translate is so good that it works. We have full-on conversations with them and coordinate with them. So, you know, sorry, a bit of a tangent there, but that was actually something that I'm like, yo, we actually need in other games. But anyway, back to the whale situation, right? In Siege, yeah, there are whales on both sides, but they're not so strong that they can tank the whole guild and not die. You can outmaneuver the other guild. When I joined the server, I joined the second best guild. The top guild had like 100 members. We had like 30. We slowly grew stronger and stronger, and they slowly bled players. We were an actual real guild. You know, we were, you know, hanging out with each other. We were chatting in guild chat. We were hanging out in Discord. We were coordinating with each other on for like bossing together, for PvPing together and stuff. So like we actually kind of outshined them in such a manner of being a better guild, and despite them having more whales and having more manpower, eventually toppled them and took their castle and never looked back. They haven't taken it back since. So like, yeah, it is pay to win, but that's not the only thing there is. There are some things that allows the free-to-play player to enjoy it a little bit. So mobile MMORPGs aren't going to be cut and dry. Hey, you have to swipe in order to be able to play, but they will balance it so like the fodder can still level up too. And that's important. I say that is that you will be fodder to the stronger players. But when you compare it to like MMORPGs on PC, is that much different? Because like if I go out PvPing on BDO, I'm gonna get decked by people who have like 50, 60 more gear score than me. And then even if I'm on an even gear score situation, there's also the skill factor. There are people who played the BDO for over 8 years and PvP non-stop. How do I catch up to that much experience? You can catch up. It's not impossible, but it'll take you many months of grinding out PvP, just constantly PvPing, putting many hours into it to get to that point. So like when it comes to pay to win, yes, mobile games extremely pay to win, but if a game doesn't have pay to win, then you're paying by time. You either pay with money or you pay with time. So if you're not paying, you know, thousands of dollars to catch up, you'll be grinding for many dozens of hundreds of hours, and you know, you never know. Like depending on the game, it could be hundreds of hours, it could be even 1,000 hours. Like whether you're grinding out gear, levels, skill, there's always going to be a grind to MMORPGs. So in the grand scheme of things, like, yeah, this mobile game, extreme disparity in power due to pay to win. But how much different is it from other MMORPGs? Everything's pay to win. Every single MMORPG is pay to win. You can use money, whether it's allowed by the TOS or not, to gain an advantage. So, you know, to name other pay to win things that were going on in this game that, you know, still flabbergast me that people still play despite these immense differences. It's like the wings, you know, wings are a big system in this game. Where if you like, I have a Gen 2 wing, I get like 22% damage bonus and 25% absorption bonus. If I swipe 600 something dollars, I get a Gen 2.5 wing. Not even a Gen 3, it's 2.5. And that gives you 35% more damage and 35% more damage absorption. So that would be literally 13% more damage and 10% more defense I would have for swiping. That's an immense difference, right? And then there's pets. You get permanent pets versus having to pay for pets with in-game currency. The permanent ones are 20% damage or absorption. And then the limited time ones are only 15%. Everything adds up. And even 5% is a big deal. Let alone like 20% from these combined differences, right? It's immense. Then there's XP buffs. A whale can buy XP buff for 30% more XP. You can grind the same amount of time, but if they got XP buffs and you don't, you're going to fall behind. It is what it is. There's also the Moo Coin buff, where it's the currency of the game, where, you know, if you swipe, you get these card things that I have here that I saved up for a long time. Saved it for specific moments, but those things are, you know, give you 20% more coins, 20% more currency. You know, you can grind the same amount of time. The other guy's going to have more money. There's also features like auto potting and auto recycling gear in your inventory so that you can grind literally for days on end without touching your computer. Whereas a free-to-play player, they're going to have to check their computer every 8 to 12 hours. Water break, sorry. So all in all, these are immense factors that go into pay to win. For a PC game, that would be a death sentence. No one would play it unless that game had a history and there's nostalgia or something, right? But there is more to it. It's not just like the pay to win factors. There's also the autoplay. You know, I usually write off a game when I see autoplay. But in the mobile gaming MMORPG perspective, it's a staple. And when there is autoplay in a game, everyone does it. And everyone's expected to do it 24/7, or you fall behind. So even though I despise autoplay, like I definitely understand the purpose behind it. Like, not everyone has time to be grinding out on an MMORPG. So, you know, surprisingly, in that Ragnarok video I made, comments were saying, "Oh, I wish there's autoplay in this," because I thought there wasn't going to be autoplay, and they were actually looking for it. They're like, "I don't have as much time anymore to grind. I want there to be autoplay." I'm like, for me, if I think about it, I'm like, if there's autoplay, then aren't we incentivized to auto grind 24/7? And then aren't we incentivized to have alts auto grinding for us as well? I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me, but I understand their rationale because they're grinding in game and they're trying to enjoy the pinnacle content, the main things which are about, you know, which are actually fun, like PvP, like doing siege, like going out and bossing. So yeah, it does cut out the fact that you have to grind so you can enjoy these things, the fun aspects of the game, when you do have time. But at the same time, why even add it in the first place? I think that's a game design issue. Like, if you need to be grinding 24/7 and everyone has access to autoplay, why even have grinding as a factor at that point? So I mean, sure, there are reasons, you know, there's disparity. Maybe that person can't grind 12 hours a day or autoplay 12 hours a day, but I can. I'll be ahead, right? But it's just something that I didn't understand. But at the same time, I do understand why people ask for it, because, you know, it appeals to players who don't have time to sit at the computer and play for 6 hours a day. And, you know, the next topic is precisely why. You know, it's cross-platform. You can pull out your phone from your pocket at any time, hop into Siege, hop into PvP, go do some bossing, and then put your phone away. Like, you don't have to be at the PC. You can be in the toilet, on the toilet. You can be outside just chilling. You could be at school or something, right? So it's more accessible for people who are not, you know, very invested into MMORPGs anymore, because they just don't have time. But at the same time, it's like 24/7 grinding. Isn't that a different type of, issue? Uh, but yeah, I mean, you gotta really respect the kind of games that do it right, like old school RuneScape, Albion, who have like proper cross-platform games on mobile, which didn't cave to the mobile monetization. Like, I know RuneScape 3 has like excessive monetization, but old school RuneScape, when they released the mobile client, it's just another way to play the game. It's the same game, no change to monetization, no change to cost, and it's just the same game. And I think that's so amazing that they were able to pull that off, because it sets a really good example for other games. Because look at the player base of RuneScape. By releasing a mobile client, they cemented their existence for a very long time. Like, there are a lot of people who play the game on the phone, but they're not exclusive mobile gamers. They're like me. I'm sitting on the couch. I want to do this. What I'm doing here, I'm just clicking on one NPC over and over. Yeah, I can do this in my bed, right? I can do this on my couch, just on my phone. It's no different than me doing it on PC. Like, for the few games who did execute cross-platform mobile gameplay properly, hats off to them, man. They're gems. They should be cherished. No, seriously. So, like, when it comes to this game in particular, though, like, yeah, the monetization excessive. Yes, it's autoplay, but why the hell did people stick around? And why the hell did even I stick around? I could have made this video after just like a few days. It wasn't hard to figure out all this stuff. But what really stood out to me was that it still had the MMORPG experience. There's still a community. Like, the guild I joined, these guys, they're my homies, man. Like, they're my brothers. We fought together, we grew together, we laughed together, and helped each other out. We talked shit together on World Chat. We're homies. This one time I was getting jumped by a whale. I put in the location and just put the name of the whale in chat, in my guild chat. Literally in seconds, 4 people from my guild just teleported in and just jumped that fool. It was the funniest shit ever. I was just laughing my ass off. I was in the living room, chilling on the couch, and I was just going bonkers, and my wife is just looking at me, what the hell are you doing? It was just hilarious. And that's the kind of shit that only really happens in mobile games, man. Yeah, it happens in BDO too, but in BDO you have to like telescope, or you have to like compass them, and you have to like that instantaneous. It was so funny the way it happened, because I didn't even respawn yet. I'm just looking at the guy, and immediately I see 4 dudes on a horse just running in. Oh, it was just silly, man. But it's shit like that. It's the community. Like, yeah, it's a mobile game, but there's still people chatting on the world chat, chatting in the cross server, still shouting for buying stuff, shouting for trading stuff, still talking shit, or just, yapping about some random stuff. Like any MMORPG, there's still, despite it being a mobile game, there's still that MMORPG experience you get from a community, right? Princess, no, I just put it at low. Thinking about electricity bill, I didn't really notice it too much, and for longevity of the PC, when it's minimized, it doesn't really affect the computer too much. Not really taking up too much resources. I just put it at minimum, put it at low power, and just call it a day there. But I've been running my PC 24/7 for a long time now, for years now. I just never turn it off. What's the mobile game? This is Moo Immortal. It's one of there's many Moo games on mobile. This is just one of them. But these things I'm talking about, they go into any MMORPG, like any mobile MMORPG. All of them are pay to win. Pretty much all of them have autoplay. I think Etherspire is the only recent one I found that isn't pay to win or autoplay. And of course, old PC games like RuneScape and Albion, they're PC games which have mobile clients. Yeah, I don't do any of that stuff, Princess. I just leave it as it is. I haven't really noticed anything. My electricity bill is more dictated by the weather outside. So it's not really that noticeable for me, but yeah, you could definitely take those steps to limit it as much as you can. But yeah, I mean, like, listen, it's the MMORPG experience, and what I was saying about like auto translate was huge because this game isn't just like this is an American server, but there's a lot of South American players as well. So being able to communicate with them, having that auto translate feature is immense. They really should add, you know, game developers should add that to every MMORPG. You know, you're such a dad. Oh, come on. It's true though. Oh. But yeah, and then when it came to like PvPing in this game, yeah, I'm facing whales, but look at me on BDO. That one Zerker dude jumped me and he's like, oh, I'm PvPing. But like literally I can't do any damage to him. Like in a full combo, him CC'd, literally no damage to him. Whereas he's able to two-shot me. So like pay to win mobile game, what's the difference there? Right? Still happens in PC games as well. What's this pay to win mobile game? This one is Mu Immortal. MU Immortal. But it applies to every MMORPG on mobile pretty much, right? You know, when there's pay to win involved. But despite it being like a pay to win game, like I had plenty of fights where I was fighting against people like me who are free to play, low spenders, who are not spending like $50 a week, just to stay relevant, right? So there is a lot of PvP that happens when it's just people, people against your stuff, like because it does segregate you from the whales. The whales are going to level ahead. They'll be in their own maps, Say OSRS is a mobile pay to win game. I mean, it is pay to win. Let's not kid ourselves. You can buy your way to glory in RuneScape, but it's certainly a better game than 99%. You can't really buy power in BDO in the same way. What do you mean? You swipe, you can buy power. I mean, you still need skill to back it up, but... Oh, Michael, tell me more. I want to see your take on it. You don't have to? Oh, certainly. That's the same thing in this game. I don't have to do any of that. I can literally not... I mean, I'm a free-to-play player. I don't spend money, Other than like $10 when I spent when I started the game, just to accelerate that one stream. But you don't have to do any of that in any game. You can play it at your own pace, If I had to go and like, PvP against someone in RuneScape, if they have the latest gear, they have a much bigger advantage. But I don't have to. I can go and fight people at my own level. Same in this game. The whales who are at my level and power aren't the issue. The whales who are like 100 levels ahead are the issue. But I don't have to go fight them. You can find good fights. I can find good fights in this one fighting against my arch nemesis Louise, who's also at the same gear score as me. You don't need to buy OSA GP to risk fight 150 mil. It's equalized and understood. Pure sets cost 100k. Sure, if you choose to participate in the activity, which is normalized. Where if you want to go and start being like high end PvE, like you can't just go in and start doing the highest end raids. You have to get there. You have to grind your way there. You can spend 1,000 hours grinding out all the gear you need, or you can just swipe and buy it instantly and save yourself an immense amount of time. In PvP, yeah, you don't have to go and fight those risk fighters. You don't have to go and fight, maxed mains, doing full tribrid, wearing 100 mil worth of gear. You can stick to free-to-play PvP and stuff, but that's activities that we're choosing to engage in. You're not forced to. Just like I'm not forced to fight someone who's 100 levels higher than me in this game. I just don't fight them. You can take your time. You can take your time in this mobile game too. You can do absolutely zero pay to win stuff and still progress in this game and still fight people at your own gear score. That just goes for anything. But RuneScape's primary focus is no longer PvP. It's a side activity. RuneScape's primary activity now is PVM. And PVM needs gear. And in order to get that gear, as a good RuneScape player, you would progress stage by stage. First, you're using dragon weapons, you know, then you find your way into Zulrah, you grind that out. Then you go into, you know, Warcat or any other bosses. And step by step, you're like grinding out next stage of gear, next stage of gear, next upgrade. Oh, I want to do this boss. Well, I need to get XYZ unlocked first before I get there. Or a main just goes and buys their shit, you know? Yeah, there's a lot of factors to RuneScape, and you can choose not to engage in the pay-to-win side, but that doesn't change the fact that, you know, someone can come in and just buy a Twisted Bow, Scythe, and a Tumican Shadow, and you can't. You don't need Giga Gear. Just like in BDO, you don't need gear either. You just don't engage with the people that are, you know, higher gear than you. That's your definition of pay to win, but pay to win is pay to win. Everyone has their own definition, their own lines on the sand. But at the end of the day, it's like each individual's perspective. If I want to go grind and do the highest end PVM, then it's going to take me a long time to level up my character. It's going to take me a long time to get the gear for that character. Like I can go into, you know, TOA with the most basic of gear. But am I going to be doing 500s unless I'm like the most skilled person? Yeah, not really. You can send Wooks to do it, but if you give me just Arims and, you know, a blowpipe, I'm probably not going to be able to clear a 500 TOA. Yeah, that's a difference in skill. Just like in BDO, there's a difference in skill in order to do like those C10 bosses, you know? Otherwise, you know, it's the same argument in any game. You don't have to engage in it. You can play through skill. You can spend time instead of money. But at the end of the day, you can pay to win any MMORPG. There are certain things like, you know, as you mentioned, logs and stuff that you have to grind out yourself. But if you really wanted to, you can pay to win that too. You want Blood Torva? You can pay someone to do it for you. Not good enough to do Inferno? You can pay someone to grind that out for you. Money can buy you, whether it's against the TOS or not, money can buy you, you know, the upgrades you need. The skill and difference in OSRS is vastly more explorable than BDO. I think both games have very high skill ceilings. The content that requires such high skill levels aren't equal. I think there's more skill demanding content in old school RuneScape than there is on BDO. Like I don't really see any PvE content in BDO that's actually like high end compared to like RuneScape, which has like seriously difficult stuff to do. But you know, you swiping $1,000 on RuneScape's black market is gonna put you way ahead of someone who's doing it legit. Started off and just was like trying to do raids in like full void instead of buying the best gear. That is a pay to win difference. You don't have to do it. You can play the game without doing so. It doesn't hurt you. But at the same time, it doesn't hurt me that I'm sitting here grinding a mob alone and not fighting someone who's immensely more strong than me. You know, if I do run into someone who I can't beat, I just don't waste the time. I just teleport away and be like, all right, see ya, dude. I'll go do something else, or I'll log out. The same thing in BDO. Like, you know, I can grind out all the gear. It'll take me a lot of hours and a lot of time, just like in RuneScape it does. But at the same time, someone can swipe and get the gear too. And the skill factor is different. Like, if someone spends 100 hours doing PvP and someone spent 200 hours, doesn't necessarily mean the 200 hours guy is better. You know? Everyone's different. Like, mobile game literally will let you play for 1 hour a day and you pay for energy. I don't know. Are there mobile MMORPGs which are still doing the energy system? I know for like things like Clash of Clans, that energy was like definitely a big one. I don't know any mobile MMORPGs yet. I haven't really explored all the MMORPGs on mobile, and I don't really have the interest to. But in like a game like Clash of Clans, that's definitely, a factor that it'll hard limit you. Like there's nothing that's hard limiting me on this game here, on Moo. There's nothing that hard limits me on BDO. I don't have to get something in order to get gear. It's just going to be taking me longer than, getting XYZ from the cash out. It's all differences in perspectives and definitions. But, you can go on Albion, you can swipe and buy the best gear right off the bat. Make a return to BDO video? Me? I mean, I've been back on BDO for months, so it wouldn't really make sense for me to do that. I know Russ is doing hey Russ, I saw you in chat, by the way. I know Russ is doing a series for that. He just came back last week. Don't a lot of people use bots and scripts on RuneScape? Yeah, there's a lot of cheaters. There's a lot of cheaters everywhere. But in RuneScape, they actively spend a lot of time cracking down on those, banning them, improving their anti-cheat. Just as bots improve, the anti-cheat's improving as well. The point at which you don't have them severely lowers your quality. So in Moo Immortal, this is an immensely pay-to-win game. Not having the pay-to-win stuff hasn't really restricted me. It's just taken me longer. For example, I'll show you this ranking here. I am rank 6th on my server for my class for this thing called the Courage Trial. So there's 100 floors, and each floor you can do 5 floors a day successfully. And if you fail, it doesn't really do anything. You're just stuck on that floor until you have the gear to pass it. But I am on floor 90, and I'm ranked 6 on my server as free to play. Like, I'm just chilling, There's other people who got to floor 100 like a month ago. No, not a month ago. I started like a month ago, like 2 weeks ago at least. But yeah, they got their rewards. I'll get there too in another few days or so, and I'll be like the 6th person on my class to do so on my server. The whales got there sooner, but it's not restricting me in any way from playing the game. I'm just playing at a slower pace than them. Yeah, I can't fight them one-on-one. At the same time, I don't have to. Nothing in the game's like forcing me to run against those whales, Playing an MMORPG on mobile is like playing an RTS on a controller. What's the point if you have the option of playing with the computer? It's more convenience. Like, you can just pull it out and play the game and enjoy the content you enjoy, from anywhere. For example, there was a siege today. 5 minutes before siege, someone sent a message a ping on Discord saying, "Yo guys, get on, siege time." I pulled out my phone because I was too lazy to get to my computer. Played it on my phone. Controls are a bit jankier, so what? Like, I was still able to move around, attack, coordinate, tight. So, depends on the individual. For me, it doesn't really hurt too much to play RuneScape on the mobile, but for others, it's like very foreign because they're probably not used to it. And definitely in certain aspects, it's a lot easier to play on PC, of course. Like PKing on RuneScape, don't even think about it on mobile. The PC players are going to just stomp you. Studying for the exam, should be back to videos and stream after the weekend. Nice, dude. Good luck on that exam of yours. But every MMORPG can be pay to win to a certain extent. Like, you can pick specific activities which aren't going to be influenced as much and enjoy those. In BDO, I can't compete against people with like 800 something gear score. When I grab them and put them on the floor, and my skills, my full damage combo is only doing like 5% of their HP, they shouldn't even feel happy for killing me. You'd expect them to kill me. If they couldn't kill me, they're just idiots at that point. Like, it's just not even close. So it's like, there's a massive disparity. So what we can do is not engage with them. It's like, oh, they kill you once? Oh, whatever. Who's dropping all these dodgy necklaces? Thank you. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, that's just how all MMORPGs are. The every game, like, if can be influenced with money to a certain extent or another. And, you know, to what extent you play those games is up to you. Like, personally, I don't really care. I just play as long as I have fun. Like, for example, on Moo, it's fun to do the siege with the homies. Because, like, it's just so janky, it's just so simplistic. But it still has, like, the full mechanics of a siege, man. There's, like, three gates they have to get through, and then when you get to the throne room, it's like Throne of Liberty, where you have to capture the throne and then hold on to it, and then they can still recapture it, and the siege only ends after the time expires. I like it. It's funny. It's funny. It's cute in its own way. Can I play it for like many months? No, I'm already done. I'm spent. But the fact that people still choose to play this game over other things, you know, I had to understand why. Like, it's a combination of everything. Like, the pay to win's there, but there's also something that, you know, you can still enjoy the game as a free to play. There's autoplay, but some people actually seem to prefer having autoplay as an option, you know? Every piece of gear you get isn't locked behind a paywall. That's why OSRS isn't pay to win. I have like extremely good gear for my level. Like, extremely stacked gear. I paid for nothing here. I just went at a different pace. So, like, it's all perspective, man. Yeah, I mean, you can't cash shop your way for thieving outfit, but at the same time, the thieving outfit didn't even take an hour to get. Roasting is cheese. But there are things in, like, RuneScape you can't pay for. I mean, like, sure. You know, you can't pay for skill. You run into someone in the wild, that's all on you, man. You can't say, hey, let me get my buddy to log in for me and kick this guy's ass. That just happens instantly right there. This is some ADHD looking stream. It's not really. It's just me clicking on RuneScape, and these other games are auto playing. Like auto fishing or AFK fishing, and this mobile game is just auto playing on its own. His belief OSRS is pay to win because you can get some things by paying. The classic level 80 full bandos bonfire is a meme for a reason, dude. Oh, that bandos kid is probably just stomping the shit out of his full rune buddy. You can get everything in the game without spending a dime? Yeah. I mean, you can buy everything without spending money. But of course, you know, bonds are expensive, man. What's the price of bonds? Let's see. Let's see the price of bonds. Look at that, 13 million for a bond. That's 13 million, man. So like every 2 weeks, cough it up. 13 million that I don't have to pay because I bought a yearly subscription. Some might even say I'm pay to win. $40? Bonds? Like $40 will get you like 2 bonds, right? Extremely good now is like, you know, Torva, you know, Missouri, Ancestral. Like, you can buy gear, but it's like, it's pretty pointless. Because, like, in RuneScape, you gotta level up, too. So, like, the process of me getting 99 Slayer made me so much money. So, like, if you're going for these level ups anyway, you'll make money along the way. You don't need to, like, swipe for gear. Like, RuneScape, you don't need to. But you can. I got a buddy who has all 3 mega weapons, and he's only played for a year. I'm like, you certainly didn't get that legit. And he's like, shh. I'm like, to each their own. He wanted to go in and do raids, like, you know, get invited to raids and pugs and stuff and do it at a high level. He certainly has the skill now to back it up. He's been playing nonstop for a year as a main, and he's not maxed, but he's combat maxed, you know? Yeah, it's a lot more money on the black market. That's definitely true. And I don't differentiate what is against the TOS and what's not when it comes to pay to win. I think it all counts. It all counts to pay to win. If the system allows it, it's pay to win. So definitely, black market dealings is also pay to win, just like getting boosted in raids in Guild Wars 2. You can go, you can get the setup if you wish, and a very solid setup. Yeah, I mean, you can buy your way through. You can buy your way through. You can pay someone to do all the quests for you. You can pay someone to do Blood Torva, Inferno Cape, and Quiver. Money will get you a lot of the way. Not necessary, sure. Just like most games, like even this stupidly pay to win game here, it's not necessary for me to do any of that stuff. I can still enjoy the game. I can still be useful in a siege. Like the most impact I have on sieges is like scouting and typing it into chat. People are so lazy to just type into chat. That alone was like a differentiator for me. But yeah, definitely. Not many people do that. Only the high end. What, you mean buy boosts? Like buy Blood Torva and all that? Is that what you're talking about? A lot of people do that. A lot of people gotten banned. I remember there used to be a JMod who used to just put out tweets on all the people who got banned with Inferno Capes. It was hilarious. So in 2016, 2017, I was in a clan called Stud Unit. We were the top PVM clan. Our fucking guildmaster bought an Inferno Cape. And he got his ass banned. Imploded the entire guild. Now a lot of people do Inferno. But in 2016, 2017, even like in 2020, like there weren't that many capes in the game. Now there's like over 100,000 because there's a lot better gear that makes it a lot easier to get it. But back then, you know, people would buy those boosts, man. Get their asses banned. Blood Torva's crazy. People still buy them. You know, they're up there. They have like all the kill count, but they're not able to do it. They'll just pay someone to do it just so they can flex on it. I knew a guy in 2020 cashed out on the black market, paid the down payment for a house in Calgary with his OSRS gold. I think at that time it was he had about 60 billion from gambling. Didn't even play the game regularly. A lot of people did that. A lot of people actually buy gold just so they can go and gamble on RuneScape. I mean, finally they removed the duel arena, but fuck, it took them so many years. They were like, oh, it's just a part of the game and blah blah blah. And then finally, with old school RuneScape, they finally said, you know what? Yeah. Well, no, even in the beginning, people were begging them to like add mechanics to like, you know, make it so they couldn't do the duel arena and stuff. Basically, this was before Iron Man were a thing. So like they would ask, oh, please make it so that we can lock our account so that we can't do duel arena. I'm addicted and stuff. And they're like, yeah, no. 30 grand? Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, there was like, I mean, Autoblock is like going for like a massive amount of money. He probably has tens of thousands of dollars worth of gold on his account right now. Well, how much? Oh, we're actually closing into level 90 thieving. I think 91 is what I'm going for the last floor of Pyramid Plunder. Yeah, 91. Okay, we're only 70k away from 90, so pretty close, pretty close. Nice. Well, yeah, let's just close things out with the moo talk over here. Yeah. So where were we? Yeah, the accessibility was a big thing. You know, the pay to win, while it's pretty immense, it doesn't really define my gameplay in a negative manner. At the same time, I don't enjoy the game as I would if it was a fair game. I think it would be a great game if it was just fair. But at the same time, this is a game for profit. I mean, it's a mobile game. You can't even argue at that point. If it was a PC game, you could be like, these guys are idiots. But when it's a mobile game, you know what you're signing up for. And despite all that, people still choose to play. But, you know, bottom line is, you know, regardless if it's a PC game or a mobile game, you can still have fun, you know, just like any other game, as long as you don't fall into the addiction, fall into the monetization and the dark patterns. You know, you have to be disciplined, but you can still make memories and have a good time. You know, you got to set boundaries for yourself. But that goes with any game, even PC games, right? Well, the highs in this game aren't as like high as the PC, and the lows aren't as low. It's definitely, I definitely understand why players are playing. Yeah, a siege on this game is nowhere near as fun as a siege on Throne and Liberty, but people still have a blast doing it for whatever it is. So, bottom line, you're responsible for your happiness, man. Like, even if you're playing a mobile game or a PC game, you got to make sure you're doing things, you're having fun. You're not putting yourself in a bad position by spending a lot of money when you can't afford it. But yeah, for me, my happiness is in like PC MMORPGs. Am I gonna turn into a mobile MMORPG gamer? No. I'll still check them out. I'll still cover them because it's still relevant to the genre. But yeah, PC games are what I really enjoy. It's just a shame I don't have as much time right now, but hopefully we can change that someday. That's the goal. But yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, when it comes to the genre as a whole, you can just hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Right now, we had a lot of lows in terms of new MMORPGs, but at least we have the old and golden ones like RuneScape, you know, Final Fantasy 14, WoW, Guild Wars 2, Elder Scrolls, they're still alive. Black Desert's still alive. Yeah, we got a few options. Maple Story's still thriving. Yeah, is what it is. You just got to make sure you're taking care of yourself, not going too deep into a game and wasting too much time or too much money. But this is Moo Immortal. I played it because I was sponsored like 6 weeks ago. The sponsorship was just a video, but because I already had it downloaded, I kept it going for a few days just to see how, pretty much to answer the questions that I had, like why the hell were people even playing the game? Because there were a lot of people in the game. There's a lot of people who play it. Like there's probably tens of thousands with all the servers combined. And it's like when it's a game that's this pay to win, that has open world PvP with zero punishment, that can literally let a whale come and just spawn camp you, like why would they still play it? So kind of wanted to answer that. So I have like before this stream, I actually recorded the actual video, which is more focused and condensed version of what we talked about on stream. I'll drop that soon, so you guys can check that out if you want the TLDR version. But it was mostly just to make that video, honestly. Oh, Otoblock. Oh, you mean the other guy? He was in debt for 120k, like 250 bill. God damn, that's crazy, dude. Being that much in debt in a mobile, or sorry, not a mobile game, in a old school RuneScape. Hey, you never know. He might have dual arena on mobile. Well, yeah, he could have. They had all the rules and everything updated by then, 2020. Yeah, I think so. All right. Chat, I'm losing my voice at this moment. Oh, 3 different games. This is how you game? Bro, I've actually had Maple Story going at the same time as well. We're actually playing like 4 games at once. AFK grinding on Maple Story is a thing, if you do it right, if you know how to do it. All right, I'm calling it a night. I'm getting sleepy. But Michael, good shit, man. I enjoy talking about stuff like that. MMORPGs as a whole are just like my jam. Even talking about the nitty gritty part, like pay to win, different mechanics of it. I love that shit. No, I appreciate you. Oh, chat, it's time to call it a night. I'm gonna go to bed. I lost my voice from just yapping nonstop, but that's just how it goes. Cool, take it easy. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll find something else to yap about. Glad BDO isn't pay to win. Get out of here. Someone get this man out of here. I mean, it's about the degrees of pay to win, right? Like, I've played an MMORPG, we might cover one of these days, where you could literally buy these items that give you like a 1 hour boost of 100% of your attack and defense. There's 30-day boosters for 50% of your HP. All the costumes gave individual stats, like percentage stats, like 7% damage, 10% crit, and all that stuff. Like, I've played true pay to win games, man. Like, and in that game, there's no way as a free to play player you could get that unless you bought that stuff from another player, which they didn't even give you the mechanism to buy and sell those items for like many years. So like there were some games which like hard capped you from progressing. Like you could not raid, you could not do the dungeons without having those things. Like there's no way you would survive a single hit. So there are some games which are like super bad, but you know, that's just how it was. It was a different time, and you know, I haven't seen MMORPGs come out with like that level of monetization nowadays outside of mobile, but shit could be a lot worse than BDO, that's for sure. All right, guys, that's it for me tonight. You know, appreciate you guys hanging out. It's been a blast. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. At this point, I'm just losing my voice, and it's just gonna get worse. So we'll stop while we're ahead. All right, take it easy, guys. Catch you guys soon. Peace.